Okay, so here we are. It is our first official Tuesday night health coach huddle. Of course, 8 o'clock. You guys know that 8 o'clock version. So we're going to be posting this on our YouTube channel and stuff like that. And so if you are watching it there, you can join us live 8 p.m. Pacific on Tuesdays. And we're going to keep the format. We're going to keep these to a 30-minute. Because it is later in the evenings, and we're going to have an awesome time tonight. So I'm going to toss this over to Kim Stewart, and she's going to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight and kind of work through things. So welcome, Kim Stewart.
Yay, thank you, Craig. It is going to be a fun, and I'm excited because I think we've kind of been a little bit of a separated community with those people that are at work and those people that aren't able to attend on Friday morning. So I'm excited to be here with all of you. And what better of a topic than community, this common unity that brings us together. And I've been thinking a lot about that with my clients and my coaches. And I really feel like it is like one of the biggest factors, certainly for my own success. I had an aha moment a couple of years ago that, man, if I was not connected and had clients asking me how I was doing and I was asking them, there's a pretty high likelihood that my mindset could have taken me back down the trail. And so as we think about that for ourselves and our clients tonight, I'm excited for us to see how a deeper understanding of community can benefit all of us. So I think I'm going to turn it over to Diane, and she's going to lead us in kind of a rating scale. Oh, is there, Diane? There you go.
Yeah, are we going to put up the scale? Kim,
Coming right up.
You're going to do it? Okay, well, yeah, well, we're going to do a little introduction first.
Okay.
So we're going to go around and because we have some new faces, some that I don't know, most of which I do know, but we're going to go around and we're going to introduce ourselves. So tell us.
Well, they're going to talk about this during the introduction, right?
Not yet, because
not yet.
Not yet.
Okay,
not yet.
Back to you.
So, okay. So tell us who you are and where you're from. So Betsy, you want to start first since you're at the top of my screen?
Okay, I'm Betsy Stevens and I live in Vancouver, Washington.
Yay. And I'm Diane Thompson and I live in Cookeville, Washington, which is on Whidbey Island.
And I'm Shelley Miller. I'm from Brush Prairie, just north of Vancouver, Brush Prairie, Washington.
Woohoo! Welcome, Shelley.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here.
Hi, Danielle. How are you?
And do we want to go to Kelly and Don Carpenter next? I heard I didn't hear you guys say your names, so do you want to try that again?
Okay, so Kelly and Don Carpenter, and we're coming to you from Spokane, Washington.
Yay, welcome. And then there's Mr. Craig.
Yeah, I'm from Brush Prairie too, Vancouver, but Brush Prairie. So I'm like, what's up, Shelley? We're like neighbors, right? Yeah, so Vancouver, Washington, Brush Prairie area.
Yeah.
Yay. And I used to be from there, so not that long ago. How about you, Linda?
Yeah, guilty as charged. I'm Linda, and I am in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Yay. And then a brand new coach, Kim. You want to tell us where you're from, Kim?
Kim Pelham. I'm from Everett, Washington, living on a boat in the marina.
Wow, that's awesome.
Woohoo, Kim. So just so everyone knows, Shelley's brand new too. So we've got two brand new to the team tonight. Woohoo! Welcome, Kim.
And Lori, Lori, you're next.
I'm Lori Purdy, and I'm from Temple City, California, which is outside of LA.
Welcome. And then there's the infamous Eileen.
Hi, I'm Eileen Butler, and I live currently in Folsom, California, just north of Sacramento.
Yay, welcome, Eileen. And then Miss Kim.
I am Kim Stewart. I had a better introduction, but I am from Rochester, Washington, which is just south of Olympia.
And let's see, Jennifer.
I'm Jennifer Easton, and I'm from Coos Bay, Oregon.
Welcome, Jennifer. And then Carrie.
I am Carrie Armstrong from Spokane with Kelly and Don.
Welcome, Carrie. And then Miss Daniela.
Daniela Carulli, Camas, Washington.
Hey. And Shelley, you already went, right?
I did, yes.
Okay. And then, of course, Mr. Alex. You're muted. Hello.
All right. I was sending out some invites there. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes, of course. It's Mr. Alex. I am from Ridgefield, Washington, and currently camping up at American Lake next to Tacoma by Fort Lewis. Yeah.
Yay. Welcome.
I would love to point out how you can do this from anywhere, because there he is camping, but he's here with us. Love it.
I was going to do a Zoom via the lake, but the mosquitoes are starting to come down, so I'm off the lake inside the little common area. I'm going to pull the fire alarm if it gets too crazy.
Where it's safe from the bugs, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So who was going to go over that scale? Was that Alex? Alex, were you planning on going on that scale 1 to 10?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
All right. So great. So I'm not sure if we've brought the topic out yet. Have we started that? Is anybody aware of?
Why don't you tell us what common unity means?
Absolutely. Well, we have a fun play on words with community. And, calm is like with, and to be in sync, and unity, of course, is to be unified in oneness. And so to have with unity or common unity is very key to the success we've all had. What's beautiful about who's on this meeting tonight has come through common unity. You've met somebody, you've known somebody in the course of daily life. You didn't probably answer an ad. Nobody took out some kind of marketing piece to bring somebody in. It wasn't very transactional. It was very relational. Common desire to live a longer, healthier life, thriving quality. And as we think about that, there's this scale that we created. And really, you can put the scale back up there. I want you to think about how plugged in are you to this community that is going to allow you to thrive. And social is so huge. I mean, let me pause for a moment and ask, how many of you would agree that a lot of the influence that you've had in your life has come from the peers and the people or the work environment or your parents that you've hung around, family, friends. It's funny, I remember just being a youngster and being around people who listened to rap and hip hop, and that's kind of what I liked. And then I had some friends who listened to some alternative music, and I started liking that. And I started going to church, started really liking Christian contemporary. Then I have friends who were bluegrass musicians. It's very interesting. My wife likes country, so I kind of like country. And I'm like, wow, who you hang around has a big influence. I haven't bought a big belt buckle yet. I don't have that many friends that have big belt buckles. But I bet if I had 10 friends that did, I might wear a big belt buckle. But that is huge. But let's talk about health, wealth, positive relationship. Who would like to have a big belt buckle for optimal health, right? Who would like to have just a really, really nice level of extra financial security, and to be able to have the resources to travel. And to do what you want to do with who you want to do it with, and to serve who you want to serve, because you've got enough time and money together. Well, that's huge. Well, this community that we have actually has that kind of environment to allow you to create that and to give that to others. Now, I want to pause on that, to create that and give that to others. And we're talking to a guy who grew up on welfare and a single mom, and very, very tough upbringing, At the same time, now I wouldn't even have, like, if you met me now, you wouldn't even know that that was my life. So I love that. But it's the people I chose to hang around, and getting plugged into Craig. He was vital in me making a shift from, like, don't get me wrong, I became an entrepreneur before meeting Craig, but I became an entrepreneur in the aspect of working 60 to 80 hours a week, not home. And really, really cared about people and compassionate, but really preoccupied with life. How many of you ever feel preoccupied with life? It's got a lot going on, and you would like to meet other needs, be there for your kids. Well, Craig showed me that in this community, not just Craig, but he showed me other people. He introduced me to a team of people who were living life fully and helping others do the same within a reasonable amount of time, working 15 to 20 hours a week. And yeah, is it working to be on vacation and meet people who want to get healthy? That's debatable. I'm up here camping and I'm meeting people. It's hard to say that's working, but it's a beautiful thing. And so I really, really appreciate Craig bringing me into this community, but he had to fight for me. Craig had to fight for me. You remember that, Craig? When I was kind of like, because I was so used to working all those hours or reacting to circumstances. I needed emergencies for me to give extra time outside of what I had the habit of giving time to. So I appreciate Craig playing the dentist and pulling teeth, being consistent with me. He leaned into my people, the person who just hosted and introduced us, Diane, and who brought up this chart. She had to get mentoring from guess who? Because it wasn't me in the beginning. She had to go to Craig because I didn't know how to lead at the time. Anyone else other than teach them how to work 60 to 80 hours a week and not see their kids and their wife and all that. But Craig knew how to do this balance thing. He was doing that, so Diane plugged into him. Thank the Lord for this community and all of you. You are this community. So here's the question. I wanted to go a little bit long on that piece so there was relevance to this scale that we're about to give you. I want you to think about, one is you avoid the community right now. Now, this is not asking anybody to be, feel bad or judgment. It's just awareness. So you're going to give yourself a scale, a grade on a scale of 1 to 10 of where you fit in to community in the continuum of that you're actually in a regular position. And this isn't about good or bad. It's just about becoming aware of a reality. So if you were scoring yourself a 1, it'd be like, I actually avoid the community, this common unity, this team. I like to be isolated. I don't like having to talk to other people and be around them, and I don't make an effort to it. And it's not so much whether you like or not, it's do you do it? Do you plug into like Tuesday night coach tips? Do you make it to the leadership, make an effort to try and be on something like the leadership training on Monday night at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern with Dr. A and the team? Do you make an effort to be at local events if they're around you, or to come to a national convention, to be on a 3-way call with your mentor, and be meeting your other leadership team and work on your personal growth and development? And it's not saying you do all of these, and it's not saying that all these nights and these days, work out for your schedule. It's that you actually, when you can, and you've actually scheduled it, made a priority to adjust life around, to plug into this common unity continuum that's going to actually help you do what Craig did for me, David and Terry Miller, and my leadership mentor team, Tim Cox. I want to mention him. I'm realizing how important he was in my initial growth stage. A lot of you don't know him, but the point is I know him. He was part of mine. But how are you doing with plugging in with your mentorship team? And if you're brand new, exciting, you get a chance to kind of look at that. So 1 is I avoid it. I really to make an effort to kind of isolate myself. That's just kind of where I'm at right now. A 10 is I seek it. I work on, and if I'm not there all the time, I'm working my schedule so that I can when I can. And I also might have other important things in life and family and other obligations, but I fit this in. and I look for these opportunities aggressively, and it's actually integrated into who I am now. I just do it like it's an effort that is normal. 5 is kind of in and out. I'm like not a short circuit per se, but it's like could be on, could be off. Just kind of like there and now I'm not there. But I do it. So you hear the tone and the attitude. All right, so let's take a moment, and you're going to be kind of like that again. Awareness without judgment, not a negative, good or bad. Give yourself a score on how you do with plugging into community and having that fit in.
Yeah,
now, I'm doing the same thing too, but go ahead, Diane.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're going to go around like we just did with the introductions, and I'm going to ask what number you give yourself. And like Alex just said, there's no judgment with that number. It's kind of like knowing where you are. So you can't do anything about it if you don't know where you're at. So
why don't we start with the leadership people first? Like if you want to start, Diane, and then we'll go with those just so we can kind of lead by example.
Sounds like a great idea. Well, then we might as well ask Craig to go first, huh, Craig?
Since you started this whole bad boy team or bad girl team.
I appreciate that, and I will. And I've had a lot of mentorship too. Everybody is mentoring and being mentored. The people that want to grow anyway. You're reaching up and you're reaching back, and you're someone's pulling you, and you're reaching back. You're pulling, and you're just you're being mentored and you're mentoring, and that's the way we work. For me, though, on the scale, I seek community, and I see a value of it. But I'm not as plugged in as I think I need to be. So I'm going to give myself right now a 6 because sometimes I'm overwhelmed with so many things that I need to do that I sometimes am avoiding community. At least it feels like work. So I'm going to give myself a 6 right now.
Great. Thank you, Craig. How about you, Alex?
Yeah, well, I was going to say I was a 7, but then Craig said he was a 6. Wow. So, yeah, it's interesting because I know you guys see me and I do 3-way calls with a lot of you. So you're thinking he's plugged in, and I come to the Tuesday night coach tips probably, I'd say 7 out of 10 times. If travels or something come up, I'm traveling now, but here I am. At the same time, I'm not as plugged into my mentorship team as as I used to be, and I used to be a 10 when it came to that. And before I wasn't, and then I got to a 10, and that's when I had the biggest growth. So I'm going to have to say I'm a 6 or a 7 right now, honestly, because of that piece right there. That's huge. So I do a lot of it for you guys, but I'm not kind of getting some of the stuff that I need from me. Craig's nodding his head. Go ahead, yeah, buddy.
Thanks, Alex. Daniela, do you want to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. So I'm feeling like I'm waffling. I feel like I have to say, I'm thinking of it in terms of like where I was, because there was a time when I first this community that I would probably have to say I was a 2. Right? I was kind of reserved. I was hesitant. I didn't have the trust level. There are just different things going on based on my own experiences. And so when I look at that, and then now it feels like I could be a 9 or 10. I know that's not realistic, but it feels like that much difference. You know what I mean? But I think realistically, right now, probably a 7 to 8, because I feel like I really am seeking a lot and I'm connecting a lot. And could I do more? Absolutely. But I'm really feeling a lot of engagement and extreme difference from where I had been. So,
thank you, Daniela. How about Kim?
Yeah, this is a topic that's so, like I said at the beginning, is so near and dear to my heart, because I would definitely have rated myself a 1 when I came in here. And I've always lived my life very introverted, only doing things in community when I had to. And when I could show up really well. Like I'll be there when I have everything together, which isn't very often. So so I would probably rate myself a 6, but I want to say that I like to look at it globally. So when I'm talking about community, I'm thinking of even like when I'm at church and when am I seeking other groups outside of this community? And if I just consider this community, I feel like I'm getting closer to like a 7 or 8, which is amazing improvement because it feels safe here for me. And now I'm transferring it from this tight community out to, what about getting in relationship with people that are around me? That's even scarier, but it's with the help of my mentorship team. It's like, well, just do the next baby step. So I feel like I'm a 6 in that regard.
Thank you, Kim. I'll go next. At this point, I know when I came in, I was probably a 4 or a 5, and now I'm probably right about an 8. And a lot of that has been due to the fact that we've moved into a new community. So it's forced me outside my comfort zone and forced me to reach out and get integrated into other cultures where we live. So I would say an 8. How about you, Miss Betsy Stevens?
Currently, I'm probably a 3. I've been definitely a lot more plugged in the past. Kind of threw myself into the water, and with a lot of other obligations, kind of lost self. So kind of backed up, have kept plugged into the group, which has kept me inspired and kept me healthy. Definitely reevaluating and looking at, kind of a life change and a direction change of where we go from here. So I'm looking forward to this community as well as connecting in Dallas personally with people and seeing if it grows higher than the 3 it currently is at. Thank you.
Yay, thank you, Betsy. Kelly and Dawn, do you want to go next?
Wow, like a lot of you, I think I tend to be kind of an introvert, and so plugging into community can be a little scary for me. And so I feel like I've grown a ton in that area. I also feel like I have a long way to go. I'm excited that our change in life is going to allow us more flexibility. And so it is definitely, my desire is at like a 7 or an 8. But my reality is probably closer to a 6. And so definitely something I want to really pursue more. So,
Kelly, did you want to add to that?
Yeah. I feel like as I just left my teaching career, I need to plug in more now. We're building a house right now, and so I'd say probably a 3 or a 4. But I'm definitely looking forward to Dallas and getting plugged in more and getting going.
Yay. Thank you, Kelly and Dawn. Eileen, you're next.
Okay. So, I rated myself and a 7, 8, but then when you called on Craig, and he said, like, what did he say, 6? And I was like, he's the one that's leading all the groups and the communities. I guess I'm around a 2. But I guess I want to rate myself 7, 8 because I don't think 7 and 8 is that high. It's like I'm involved somewhat, and it's kind of new, but I'm seeking to go towards a 10. I think in reality, I'm probably more like a 5 or 6. I was thinking in kind of like how Kim is thinking in regards to not just community here like we're meeting tonight, but people who I meet, my friends, and when we get together, I'm like, ooh, when can I talk about health, and talk about meeting with somebody and getting them on to join this journey. So I'm kind of in the middle, about 6.
Okay, thank you. Lori, would you like to share?
I just want to jump in real quick to Eileen's point. It really is, and I'm going to correct myself too, it really is about your own self-assessment on where you're at. And you have to remember, like when Craig is saying what he's saying, or I'm saying what I'm saying, so I'm going to own my 7 and not change it to the 6 because Craig's at 6. is because I'm looking at what I know is available to me from the position. And I know there's things I'm not plugging into that, whereas Eileen, you are plugging into me. You talk to me, if not every day, every other day, right? Unless you're going to be gone or there's travel going. And then there might be a time where there's 3 days where you're with family and whatever, and I'll reach out and say, how's it going? But you always get right back to me. And we're empath. And then you show up for these meetings, and all that. I'm not trying to make you feel better, but I'm just trying to say you can own it. So I don't want anybody feeling that they have to lower their score because Craig and I said something.
Okay, I'll stick then with that permission. I give myself that 7. I'm going to give that 7 back to me.
And Daniela, I think
Daniela has something to say.
Yeah, what I started realizing, even in myself when I had my turn, was there was a little comparative reality going on, right? And the truth is, our scale is our own, and it's relative to where we are in this community and in this business and in this life of health. It's not, my scale isn't the same scale that Craig is measuring against, or the one Kim is measuring against, or the one Eileen is measuring against, because we're not all in the exact same position, right? None of us are. So when we panic, like I did for a minute, about, oh, Craig said this or Alex said that, maybe I need to adjust. Oh, we just got into the comparison game, and that's not helping any of us, right? So use your scale and your reality to measure yourself against.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniela. Lori, are you ready to go next?
Sure.
Thank you.
In terms of where I am with Take Shape for Life, I think that I was a 3. My husband has been a coach, and I've been kind of on the sidelines and real judgmental of what he's been trying to do. And then I was we were in an accident in January, which has kept me home from work since January. And so I've been listening to him and getting to be a little bit more familiar with what he's doing. And then in May, I got onto the May boot camp, which just triggered something in me. And plus my recovery, I'm all about health now. I thought I was healthy before, but I've had to go through a lot to get healthy again. And I think since the boot camp, I started seeking out all kinds of educational things from Take Shape for Life. I've been watching the Health Coach Huddle and listening to the Habits of Health call and being much more involved. And I think that's taken me up to a 7 or 8, which is amazing because I don't really have clients yet, but I am involved. I mean, I was convincing my son that inflammation is really important and describing what happened to my leg and whatever. I read the chat. I listened to the Habits of Health call that Alex had recommended on one of the Health Coach Huddles and that the Smithsons had done. And then I read the chapter on it, and I'm all about that. So anyway, I think my scale puts me up to a 7 or 8, and I'm really looking forward to going to convention.
Thank you, Lori. Kim, are you comfortable sharing your first 2 days being a coach?
Yeah, sure. I'm probably a 4. So yeah, there I am.
Okay, thank you. Clark, were you here for the whole discussion? I'm not sure. You came in a little late, so I'm not sure where you were.
I got into it, I think, enough to rate myself.
Okay, great.
I'm rating myself at about a 4 or 5. And I think that's because for the last 4 years, I've been kind of, we say we don't know what we don't know. And without direction, I'm in a leg that has a national director who is my coach, and it jumps all the way up to an integrated presidential with nothing in between. So mentorship is a little tough in our group. One of them's really busy, and the other one, my coach is there for me all the time, which is really great. As far as the plugging in, Like Lori said, we've had some healing to do. And imagine a Southern Californian getting hit by a truck on a snowmobile up in the deepest snow Utah's had in years. But it's, I don't know, it's a learning experience. This group that we're joining now is really wonderful, and it's opened a lot of, inner passion. So, but I still think I'm at a 4 and 5, and there's room to grow more. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Clark. Thank you. Linda, will you share and let us know where you're at?
Yeah, this is a great question, and everybody has given me some good food for thought. And I think thanks to Craig and our mentorship team, I feel like I'm expanding and deepening community on the team, and at a level that's new and has changed my outlook on coaching and really done a lot of good work on the inside. So I would honestly, for where I'm at as a new mom, I'd give myself an 8 compared to where I thought I would be. So it might seem too much, but I feel like I'm learning a lot from everybody, and it's been great. So
thank you. Carrie?
I think I have a whole bunch of different skills going on at once, but schedule changed with summer and all my wingnuts being home. And so before that, I was intentional with the power hours and connecting more. And so now I feel like I'm higher on the scale with being intentional with any free time that I do have. So I feel good about it, but it's less than I was doing before. So I would say around a 7. And I feel like I am intentional also with creating community and connecting with people, but not always in the upward direction with mentorship. And so I would like to work on that.
Thank you.
Yes,
well, we're running out of time, and we still have a little exercise. So I'm going to ask the last few people that are left to just give a number, okay, without a whole lot of explanation. So Dayton, can you do that for us? Just give us your number. Go ahead.
My number, what number?
Community. Yeah, so where would you put yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, with community? Well, I made a big step tonight. I'm still working with Craig, but I would probably give myself like a 4.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Just starting out. Okay.
Yay, 4. Okay. How about you, Carlos?
Oops. 3.
A 3. Okay. Jennifer?
I've been off and on, so right now I think I'm probably about a 2 because I'm actually on tonight, so I wouldn't say I'm a 1. I'm not avoiding completely, but looking to get back up there.
Okay, 2. Thank you. Christina?
Well, I think that there's 2 separate numbers for me. I think as far as seeking, I'm probably a 7, but as far as community, I would say I'm probably a 3 or 4.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Debbie?
Did you unmute me?
You're unmuted. Yeah, you're unmuted.
As far as community, I think I participate in a lot of stuff, and so I'd say I'd probably about a 5 or 6. I don't know the rest of it, so that's it. 5 or 6
Okay,
for
thank
community
you.
for me.
Okay, thank you. And Shelley, would you like to share?
4. I'm open and embracing it, but it's all very new.
Okay, a 4. Okay, thank you. I don't know if Martin, you came in so you even know what we're doing. So do you want to give us a number as far as where you are on a scale of 1 to 10 for community, where you are? Yes, no? Okay, no. Okay, Daniela, do you want to go ahead and give the assignment that?
I'd love to give the wrap up. This has been exciting. So I love that we're taking a look at, how we're engaging, because how we engage leaks into how our clients engage and all those layers in between. So this is like so valuable. And as we're going into Optavia, it's who we are, guys. It is who we are. So I would love you to drop in the chat what you can do this week as an idea to help clients come into community. Just drop your an idea, any idea, because we're going to talk about this some more as we go along. So just drop into the chat an idea for how you can increase your clients coming into community. And then the second part of this is to get out your phone and text your mentor your number that you gave tonight. And there's a great reason for that. Remember, it's not a judgment, but it helps us, because one of the realizations that we had was if we knew the number, then we know how far to reach. As a mentor, we know how far to reach to our team, right? Because the higher your number are, the less we need to reach, but we need to know. So text that number over, because we want to be able to support and reach back, like Craig was talking about, reaching back. You know, there's some reaching back and there's some reaching forward. And if we can all grab hands, oh my gosh, we're going to rock this Optavia community. So that's it. So I see lots of things coming into the chat. This looks awesome. Inviting them to team huddles, introducing them to mentorship right off the bat. Oh, there's some great things in here. So awesome. So those are things we can get started on. And I think that's it for this week. So excited we're all here together. Woo, Optavia!
Yeah, good job showing up for our first big Tuesday night meeting. I hope that this will work good for you, and I hope the format of keeping it to as close to 30 minutes. We missed it by 7, but we did a great job. We had a lot of content. So we're going to continue to dive into a little bit more about what community means next week and different ways to connect. But thank you guys for showing up, and I look forward to getting a text from many of you with your number if I'm your direct mentor, so that, and then whoever else connect with your mentor so they can help you plug into that community, because in our Optavia, there's 4 cornerstones. Community is one whole cornerstone. It's that big. All right, guys. So thanks for your attention tonight, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.